Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, put them up over here on the sidewalk.
Thank you. Where are you parked? Yeah, same. Would you be okay if you stayed just here? I'm gonna move my car up closer because I'm like down the hill to the right. Just for like 2 minutes.
My camera rigs up by the media camera there.
Yeah, I saw that. I'll be back in like.
Yeah.
I'll make it quick.
see Chief Eddie in there?
Huh?
Chief Eddie? You know Chief Eddie?
Thank you.
I'm even further away.
You're even further away.
Oh yeah. I'm sure you know already, but that's the cockpit.
Where?
So you see the first little smoking thingy right here, just beyond the car? That's the cockpit.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Obviously you saw the...
Was there flames right now? Something going on?
Not anymore, but
Let's just watch out. They're taking my shot.
I asked Michael to zoom in on it, but down where the other fire engine was, there was actually a flame down there.
Yeah.
Anyway, I gotta go reset my phone.
Thank you.
Bye, Liz. Bye, phone.
Thank you. So this is the corner of what?
Salmon and Sample Street.
Salmon?
Salmon and Sample.
As in salmon, like the fish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fish.
Which is which, do you know?
Huh?
Do you know which is which?
Sample and Salmon is this. They said NTSB will be here shortly, so our movement has to stay kind of where our line is.
Can you dial me to the IFB?
Yeah, you want to get on IFB?
Yeah, of course.
Check, check. One to the bike. Copy.
I think I'm gonna wear a hat, just to, so I don't look so formal. I feel like I'm too glammed up,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. 30 seconds.
Do you want me to chime in here? Yes. Okay.
I'm live though.
Okay. I can't. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I can't get in front of the camera because that David's.
clear?
I'm with David. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Okay. Here you go.
Hi guys, yeah, and those live images that you've been showing, Raul and Shali, we're going to take you back and bring you back to this home here where you see a gaping hole. This appears to look like the resident or the house that really took the direct hit from this aircraft. There is debris everywhere of the Cessna. You can see the charred vehicles, and this is basically on the corner of Salmon and Sample Streets. Now you can see if you look further down, and I'm not sure if our photographer here, David, can see there is smoke coming from what appears to be, and let me get a little closer here, it appears to be, it may be still some of the vehicles on this street smoldering. As you can imagine, when this happened just before 4 a.m., a chaotic scene. First responders began arriving to the scene of flames. They had gotten these calls that a plane had crashed. We now know it was a Cessna aircraft that hit directly into some of these homes, but at this corner here on Sample and Salmon, it looks like this particular home got the brunt, possibly a direct hit from the aircraft. There are so many moving parts to what has been going on as we are bringing these images live to San Diegans. It's really a devastating scene. This is a scene that these residents obviously may not be familiar with. I mean, when you think about when was the last time like that a plane crashed into homes like this, it's been quite a while. So there is plenty of debris here. Obviously, first responders are keeping folks away from the area, with the exception of media, and we are very limited to how much movement we can be. We're basically being kept here on the corner of Salmon Street and Sample Streets. You did mention, Raul, that people from this area have been evacuated. That is definitely the case. On our drive here to the scene, there were many family members, kids, their parents with backpacks and blankets walking away from the scene. In fact, we did talk to a resident in the area. Let's go to that interview and hear their response.
I think that's part of the plane door. Right there, that white. Looks like part of the plane. Yeah.
They asked that you remove the. I guess KTLA is going to take it.
Oh yeah, we know. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
It was just so quick.
Okay, yeah.
I saw Jacob's message.
One more time, one more time. What did you say, Mateo? Okay. Pa. Okay, perfect. What are you starting on?
The white shot of the house. I want to go to the. Not this one.
And that really is an understatement for the residents who live in this community. Again, on the corner of Salmon and Sample Street, where this small plane, a Cessna 550, we have learned according to the FAA, crashed into this home, and obviously the debris and the impact caused major destruction to several vehicles on this block. Very quiet here in terms of the residents. As we've been reporting, residents have been evacuated. We don't have specific details yet, you guys, on casualties in terms of you know, how many people were on board this plane, what is going on with the family who lived in this home. We are still waiting for official confirmation before we bring that information to you. There are reports out there, but we don't want to speculate when it comes to a situation like this. What we can tell you is that this is an area that is being blocked off for several miles here in Murphy Canyon. I mean, we've got heavy residential, and most of the residents who live here are military community members. The YMCA, the Armed Services YMCA, is not too far away. Several schools are not far away from this particular intersection. So life today is going to be very different from for the folks living in this community. But again, Raul and Shali, as we look at these images, is just absolutely devastating. And again, what we're watching are still vehicles that are hot and smoldering. That's why fire crews obviously are still here. While they are not actively putting out a fire, they are still here as this investigation is still ongoing, guys. It really is, because this home is so severely destroyed, so damaged. You know, that's why it appears that there may have been some sort of a direct impact here. None of the other homes here have this much damage, but you're right in terms of the debris. I mean, the debris, you know, there is aircraft debris everywhere in this particular intersection. And also the damage to the vehicles, as you pointed out, Raul, the charred vehicles extends further down this street. What you're looking at here, this is actually Sample Street. So you're right, it's right now, it's hard to really gauge, you know, exactly where this plane crashed, but the images indicate that it possibly could have made a direct impact here at this home. Now we're still waiting for the official briefing. You know, again, in terms of what happened to the people who were in this home, what part of the house are we looking at here when we see this gaping hole? You know, there is a vehicle on the property. Was that vehicle parked there, or perhaps that vehicle, you know, was moved because of the impact, moved from the street onto the property? It is charred. There are fire lines everywhere, water hoses, because the multiple fire units from San Diego Rescue are here. They were among the first responders here, putting on, you know, obviously doing what they do and extinguishing the flames. Jose Isea is here with the city of San Diego. We'll try to grab him in just a moment. Was trying to flag him down. Perhaps he has some information to pass along to San Diegans who have questions about what happened here. Right now, behind me, we're looking at firefighters. They are putting up a ladder. Appears to maybe they're wanting to gain access to the second story. And you know, these homes, I should point out, they look like they're townhomes, right? They look like they share a wall. It looks like they might be 2 or 3 units all in one building, as we're getting a closer look. So not exactly single family homes, but this particular area is more looks more to be like a townhome complex. Again, a heavy military community here in Murphy Canyon, guys.
Morning, what's that?
Everybody evacuated.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just asking a firefighter if they had seen anything up on that second floor. I asked if everyone had been evacuated. He just nodded. So yeah. So really, I mean, these men and women who are out here on the front lines don't have a lot of information to pass along to us. Their number one job right now is to respond, to contain, and get the scene under control. So we'll really have to wait from officials as to casualties, what's going on with with the residents who were directly impacted by this crash. But they have obviously moved their ladder away. They were possibly looking to maybe inspect. We do have an inspector who's here standing behind me. I'm not sure who he is, but he has health inspector, possibly from the city or county. But again, this is something very fluid, as you know. This just happened a few hours ago, and it's pretty remarkable that firefighters have contained flames that have sparked because of this plane crash. But there are still some vehicles that are smoldering as we look live at these images down here on Sample and Salmon Streets.
No, we're gonna have a briefing at 7.
At 7, okay, so you're going to be part of that.
Chief Eddie, Chief Wall, and the mayor will be there.
Okay. ¿Quién es Chief Eddie?
Chief Dan Eddie, Assistant Chief.
Assistant Chief.
Yeah, because Chief Logan's out of town.
Okay. So
But Chief Eddie's a rock star. He's a stud.
Chief Eddie,
Assistant
Chief
Chief
Wall,
Eddie for fire,
the Chief
and
Wall,
then Police
and
Chief Wall, and
Assistant
then the mayor.
and the mayor, okay.
The mayor's getting briefed right now.
Do you know, I understand nobody's been taken to the hospital.
Yeah, Chief Eddie mentioned that at our
Is this a
5:30.
miracle?
Two
Like-
people treated and released, but that was it.
He and the family?
Yeah, they all self-evacuated.
They self-evacuated. Okay. This is the direct impact then, I mean, just based on.
Correct.
Okay.
If you guys got the video up on Santo, you'll see a wing, some rudders on the road. It hit a pole. It hit a pole on the street. There was a down pole on the street on Santo.
On Santa.
I almost crashed into it this morning.
Crashed there and then.
Yeah, hit the pole, lost her wing, and then came in.
Okay. Let me tell them that. Thank you. I've got some more info.
I mean, that's
Preliminary.
that's what you can kind of deduce.
Yes. I've got some more information. Yeah, well, I spoke with Jose Isea, his PIO with the city of San Diego, confirming to us that the family in this home here that appears to have taken a direct hit from this plane self-evacuated. When you think about that, it sounds like a miracle that everybody is okay. He also mentioned that there were only 2 people from this particular community that were treated by first responders and then released. So far, no one has been taken to any local hospital. Again, this information coming from Jose Isea, PIO from the city of San Diego. He also mentioned, and I asked him again, just by the severe damage to this home, did the plane, does it appear that this was the home where this plane made the direct impact? He said that that is what the initial reports indicate. He did mention that a block away from here, it's probably 1 or 2 blocks. We'd have to pull up a map to be certain, but Santo Road, which is just a block away, correct, David? Yeah, Santo Road, he says it appears, the initial reports are that this aircraft hit some sort of a pole, possibly a light pole, lost a wing, and then came crashing into this home here. Again, that's what Jose Isea with the city of San Diego says the initial reports are indicating, or what you can deduce, or what emergency responders are deducing from the damage and what the scene looks like, that this Cessna could have first hit some sort of a pole, a light pole, off of Santo Road, which is a block away from here, lost a wing or some part of the aircraft and came crashing into this home. But again, confirming to us here just moments ago that it appears only 2 people in this entire community were treated by first responders, were released. No one has had to go or to be transferred to the hospital. And the family inside this home self-evacuated. We'll hope to get more information at their update. That's set to happen right at 7 o'clock. So we'll probably have to readjust locations here. That's about 15 minutes away from now, and we will have more for you during that live news conference.
Control room, can you hear me? What is the Miraculous for the ended up wanting to look live, but I'm gonna wait to see how
Sorry, Shali, I got a bit distracted. I'm talking to our colleague, David Jason Austell, who from KUSI, and he's very familiar with aviation, having been a helicopter pilot or a helicopter reporter for so many years here in San Diego. Obviously now he's one of our anchors at KUSI, but I was just asking Jason, can I bring you in really quick, because he's very familiar with the layout of San Diego, and you were mentioning, Jason, that Montgomery Airport is not far from here.
No, I flew in and out of Montgomery for about 17 years, both fixed wing and helicopters. When I saw the location of this crash, realizing and recognizing that we're in IMC conditions, instrument meteorological conditions, and everything is speculation at this point, but just being here now, I just got here, 2 minutes ago, and looking at the maps and looking at where the field is, it looks like, and again, it's all speculation, but it looks like an instrument approach that went bad. That's my first thought, just looking at it and you can look right down the pipe and see that Montgomery's runway 28 left and 28 right are right there.
Not very far away from this location. Jason, thank you for explaining that. I just wanted to bring him in, obviously he does know the layout and how close this neighborhood is to Montgomery Airport. But again, we will have official confirmation as to where this plane was going, what direction, and what exactly happened. We don't know why this plane crashed into this home. We have inspectors, PD, firefighters here on this particular property where this airplane hit this home directly. We'll have more for you as we learn it, guys. We'll send things back to you for now. Sure. Right. Yeah. And you guys, and to go back to Raul Shali's questions about what an aircraft was doing flying at that early morning hour under those conditions, I can tell you, just even by looking at the Montgomery Regional Airport website, the airport is open 24/7 for aircraft takeoffs and landings. The control tower, according to its website, is open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, but after hours, the airport becomes uncontrolled. However, it is technically an open airport 24/7. But again, we don't have specifics and official information as to where this aircraft was going. Was it heading to Montgomery Airport? It's a possibility, or was there some sort of emergency prior to it obviously crashing where it needed to redirect itself? The other thing I'm waiting to hear is what happened to the people on board. Who was on that plane? How many people? We know in terms of officials, city officials, no one had to be taken to the hospital. Only 2 people here from this community were treated by first responders and released. And the family inside this home that took the direct hit from this aircraft and managed to evacuate, which in and itself can be perceived as a miracle that they were not hurt in this ordeal, guys.
Meanwhile, in the car were a young son and the dogs, and oh, by the way, the husband's on deployment. So you can imagine that there are a lot of people here without their respective spouses as well. So here's the situation. We are awaiting a press conference. What are we going to learn? How many people were aboard the plane? Maybe at the very least. Do we have a preliminary casualty count? But I can tell you, if you're in this area at all, you're certainly appreciative of the fact that you need to stay elsewhere, as it's a very chaotic scene even now. Despite the fact that the crash happened, a little before 4 o'clock this morning. So we'll be back here live in just a couple of minutes, and who's going to lead the press conference? We'll find out when we visit with you at 7. Lauren and Paul, we're back to you in the studio this morning from a very chaotic scene here in the Murphy Canyon, Tierra Santa area. So I can tell them when the press conference is about to start, or should I get on the phone?
I'll just leave my shot up and I can see.
Yeah, so just to reiterate.
Oh, was that? Oh, shit. Thank you. Yeah. So it did feel a little short. Yeah.
guys are monitoring the sun. Lead it to business. Okay, you said look, okay. I don't have to do anything. You guys are going to watch the shot, right? Okay. Yeah, that's Paul and Lauren, not me. This one was like, okay, fine. Let's get better.
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, yeah, so I'll direct that.
She said that they were making, I was asking her what she was doing. No. That's all I'm doing. Oh. I want to make sure they real money. Okay, then
I know, waiting for Chief Logan.
So I'm gonna ruin your live shot. Okay, presser's been delayed. The chief is delayed because he's stuck on
Going in, Bill.
the 805. I don't know. Might want to just ask her. I don't know. Again, I don't know if she's gonna wanted to report from where Kenny's at with Kenny.
Hey, just Amy and Maria.
Okay. Well, she made a phone call to somebody. I don't know who she talked to. She didn't tell me. She just walked away.
Pressure pushed back another 15 minutes. Pressure pushed back.
Oh dear God.
Like, you know, I drop dead here. I don't need help.
Oh, wow. Wow. You as well.
Jug, there's a plane over there. Get out of there.
Oh my God.
Man, you really are trying to kill me, aren't you? For fuck's sake, man.
That.
My battery.
Can you do that again?
Like, literally, I was about to grab the cable and be like, yo, wait. But you just yanked it. You alright?
Oh, use that?
I get lost.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Hold on. Don't.
That's what I wanted.
I'm gonna hold this for you while you take care of your there you go. Okay, there you go. Okay, mic check, Brad.
Can I borrow an earbud?
There you go.
Just for the moment? You-
Left ear, I believe.
Yep. Here's a mic check. I don't hear anything.
Oh
better than the whole camera. No, I know better. I just want to make sure, like, if both you guys here, like, see, that can be broken. The camera, we won't see him. This thing, I mean, I can always that's what's fine. Okay.
Here it is.
There's that voice check. You gotta see him. You're gonna have to go tell him.
Yeah. You ready?
Chris yanked on his Chris yanked on his camera. Well, no, almost technically, I can't say that because I didn't see it, and it's hearsay at that point.
I'm ready. We're ready. Yeah. Mic check Ed. Mic check Ed. Mic check Ed.
Still gonna sue you. Wait for the check. Wait for the check. That little check. Make sure it clears first. I just need an MRE. Wild Bill, very flat.
Well, and one of the other things when you say they're trying to get information is just getting here. We understand there is an assistant chief here. Chief Logan was out of town at the time, apparently is on his way back and may be very close, but we understand this press conference, which has been delayed until we thought originally 6:30, now it's 7, now it's 7:15. It's not just information gathering, everybody's stuck in traffic. You can imagine the scene just on the 15. We've told you all about all the road closures, or at least indicated that this is an area where you know, we've even hiked ourselves to get here because obviously they want everything free for emergency vehicles, period. You can imagine there are hundreds of first responders here, not to mention just physically San Diego Police and San Diego Fire. So speaking of the press conference, we are told Assistant Chief Dan Eddy is here. He's on the scene, but he's the only one. We understand that Police Chief Scott Wall will be part of the press conference as well. He's trying to get here. We understand that the mayor, and it may be, I would think that maybe Scott Wall probably is here, though I haven't seen him. I'm looking around the corner where all these officers have gathered, obviously, and trying to gather as much information as they can for this presser that's about to start about 7:15 or so. But we also understand the mayor is going to be here as well, Todd Gloria, and traffic is a huge issue. So just speaking of, if you're, you normally take the 15 exits and entrances, etc., they're all closed. So here's what we know so far. We are at the Armed Services YMCA. This is where the command post was. When we first got on the scene here along Santo Road, we immediately stopped at the Navy Exchange because we had heard that might be an area where we can get some information too. What we got was some terrific interviews with people who had just evacuated, self-evacuated. And what was very interesting, again, not to repeat ourselves, but we certainly understand how fluid this situation is and that people are just joining us and just learning about this. We heard from a Marine aviation tech by the name of Sergeant Leonardo Cavillo, and he had just gotten home after an all-night shift maintaining F-35s over at Miramar, and he went door to door along with his wife and said, listen, get everybody up the hill, so to speak, because all the aviation fuel and the fire is going down into the canyon. Get everybody up. So people self-evacuated. That was not an official evacuation center. In fact, we're hoping to learn more about where people should go physically, because most of these people, they've got their animals and their pets and the clothes they immediately put on, you know, at 4 o'clock this morning. So again, to repeat, this is about 10 minutes of 4 or so. We certainly would think that given what happened here, the plane was probably trying to land at Montgomery as opposed to taking off. Montgomery's over there. Looks like the plane was approaching from the east and slammed into a number of homes here. We understand at least 15 homes. We don't know how many were destroyed, how many damaged, but at least 15 homes were affected. How many casualties there are, will we learn at least preliminarily. Based on a flight manifest, if there is one available, how many people were aboard, I asked the sergeant, I said, in your expertise, can you tell what kind of plane it was? He says, I think it was a single-engine Cessna. So that's what we have from our so-called expert, and he was terrific in the fact that he was keeping a cool head when everybody else was, understandably, trying to get the kids out and get out of pajamas and put clothes on and get the pets in the car. It was pretty chaotic over there, but I will say, this is a military complex. It's Tierra Santa, it's Murphy Canyon. It is a huge military complex of Navy and Marine families. And despite the fact that many of them are without their spouses because they're on deployment, we talked to one, there's a whole mindset with the military, and they do keep, despite the chaos, they appreciate, because of the nature of the spouse's job, they seem to keep a cooler head at a time when everybody's losing theirs. So everybody was in pretty good shape over there. The tragedy of this is, in terms of the casualties on the ground and what's going on behind us here. Again, the intersection is Sculpin and Santo. You see that police cruiser there, just hang a left there behind that fire apparatus, and it's unfortunately the scene of the crash is right in there. So, the plane's coming in, we would presume, from the east. I doubt at this point, certainly NTSB at some point will be here. We appreciate that. I doubt we'll find out more about what, was there a communication between the plane and the tower, or was it too rapid? Will we at least preliminarily learn how many casualties there are, just based on, okay, at least we know how many people were aboard the plane as opposed to who was in the homes at the time. And that's where we start to think about, oh my goodness, for all of the evacuees and people keeping a cool head, so to speak, and amidst all the chaos. We're going to have some very serious news if, in fact, we can get any information on how many people were killed or injured in this horrific crash. So again, we got a huge military complex here. A lot of people evacuated to a nearby school, Miller Elementary. But we will learn, hopefully, was there any sort of communication between the pilot, or was it just, no, it happened too quickly? How many people were aboard? Do we have a general idea about how many people on the ground were killed or injured? And then evacuation centers. There are two nearby schools here, Hancock Elementary, which is, I think, closer to the scene than Miller. Again, we're at the Armed Forces YMCA. This is not an evacuation center. This is strictly the command post. We've got dozens and dozens of people in uniform here. Fire department, the homeless outreach team. I talked to two guys there. They're assisting. And you can imagine every police agency, ancillary though it is, we're not talking about just street patrols and the hierarchy and the assistant chiefs and the chief. We're just talking about anybody and everybody in uniform is likely here to try to assist both with the crash site as well as the civilians. As I said, this is the populace of what's called Murphy Canyon military housing. I think we commonly refer to it as Navy housing at Tierra Santa. How many people have been impacted? And again, these people have no homes to go to at the moment, just the clothes on their backs. But the interesting part was, if they hopefully grabbed a wallet and some money, the Navy exchange is right there. And I noticed there were several people with wagons and water. Everybody had a pet, some in the car, some outside. And kids, awakened in the middle of the night. We got to go, we got to go. And again, the sergeant saying, hey, we want to move uphill. I'm just monitoring here. I think they escorted perhaps some people in there. Right where you see that police cruiser there, this is Sculpin and Santo, and just to the left is this horrific crash scene. So we, at the very least, we can tell people, all right, here's how we might assist you. And of course, the Armed Services YMCA, they're always assisting people. With food and whatever assistance they have, and I'm sure they'll be called upon. The Navy Exchange as well. And we're looking at our time here. It's now 7:15. I'm looking around for Jose. Do we have anything? Trying to get one of the city spokespeople. And again, part of it's not just gathering information. I know the mayor wants to be here and give us some information, and one of the our colleague in communications here with the city of San Diego said, you know, we got a traffic issue. They just can't get here. We had enough trouble on our own because obviously they want to keep these streets clear. This is something, you know, they do train for this. And remember, gosh knows, we were over in the Corvera Basin when the lifeguards were, you know, training, etc. So we're going to wrap it up here when we get confirmation as to when the mayor and Assistant Chief Eddie will be here, as well as Police Chief Scott Wall. We'll bring all that to you, but we want to go back to the studio because I think Jason's got more from the scene here. Do you want this back?
Just keep that. Give me the earpiece.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't get to my pocket fast.